being married or being in a long-term or intimate partner relationship is so hard. I don't like, who would want to engage in that in setting up the first date and the first date?
Yeah. See, this is why I disagree with you. This is why I completely disagree with you. This is why I disagree about the fact that you're like, well, you can't text because you won't have anything to talk about.
I didn't say
you
can't.
said don't text as much.
I'm really uncomfortable here.
Now it's getting to get good. So, all right, it's morning time. We're getting up and going. It is chilly outside and fall is hidden, which I am so happy about.
Yeah, Hot Lana is chilling off.
You still use Hot Lana? Didn't they get retired like years ago? I think you haven't been here long enough to know that.
I'm old school. I'm old school.
Is that what we're calling it?
Retro, vintage.
All the cool words to say.
Vintage. What did you say?
I said all the cool words that say out of date. Out of touch.
Whatever.
Oh, but no, fall is hit. I'm happy about that because we love to sleep with the windows open.
Yeah, it was pretty hot around here.
Yeah. So I pulled up a list of questions again, and then we're going to talk about differences somewhere down the road because we were talking about doing that anyway.
Yeah.
But we'll wait till like episode 10 or some special type of episode as people hang on because I think that conversation is real important. Not differences in people, but differences in us.
Yeah, our differences.
Our differences. Because I think we have some major ones, but I also think the really, really important things are the things that aren't different. But I believe how people look at, you know how people go out and they'll be like, oh, we have so much in common. Mm-hmm. But usually the so much in common, or I shouldn't say usually, but a lot of times the so much in common aren't the deepest things. They're referencing something that might be superficial or something that you might learn on a first date or two, but they aren't like the really in-depth, deep, internal type of characteristics or values or whatever that might need to get learned. And so they reference we have so many things in common, and then they look at all these things that are differences, but they're those items that are on the itemized height, weight, job, hobbies type of list, as opposed to the deep values or deep morals or what drives them type of things. Why are you looking at me like I'm weird?
I'm not looking at you like you're weird. I'm just thinking I'm going to let you finish and I'm going to simplify it in 2 sentences per my usual.
Yeah, whatever. Go ahead. Go ahead then. You simplify it.
On paper, we're drastically different, but internally, we're very similar.
No, shut up. Shut up.
But on paper, we are as opposite as they come.
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
And our histories are polar opposite.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
Well, maybe not polar. That's extreme, but drastically.
They're pretty close to polar.
Drastically.
I mean, they're drastically different. It's pretty
spectrum.
Close. The spectrum versus, you know. Let's answer some questions.
Before we jump into questions, I have an announcement to make.
Go make an announcement. Yeah.
Okay. So something I was thinking of would be to have people send us their questions that they want us to answer.
Yeah, of course.
So if anyone has questions that you want us to answer, put them in the comments on our videos.
Yeah.
And we will answer those questions to the best of our ability.
To the best.
Also, something that is coming up is that we're going to have the opportunity to interview my parents. Surprise! Spoiler alert! They're going to be coming in town.
Unfortunately, in the land of differences, we can interview yours.
Yes.
We unfortunately would have to do some really weird stuff to interview mine.
Some channeling and some seancing. But they've been married 50 years this year.
Has it been 50?
50 years.
Oh, yeah. That's
so
right. Okay.
Send us your questions that you have for them, about them. We're going to ask them their advice, their insight, what they wish they would have done differently, what they think that was like maybe the best thing for them because they come from growing up, we used to say like our parents' upbringing and extended families, we put the fun in dysfunction. So if that gives you a little bit of insight into what that
upbringing was like.
The fun and dysfunction.
Dysfunction.
So anyway, 50 years is a huge accomplishment for
that is.
For that.
That's always been a dream of mine. So
right. So we're going to have an opportunity to interview them. So any questions that anybody has, any questions that you have that might want to ask nitty gritty of the people that raised moi, put them in the comments below and I'll see if I can get to them.
I'm like, are they going to be answering questions like you answer questions sometimes?
Only time will tell. Well, tune in.
Yes.
Tune in and find out.
Yes.
Okay. Question.
Pull a question. What you got there?
Okay.
I'm
excited, though, to ask them questions, though.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Okay. What are good questions to ask on a first date?
Ooh. Who started last time? Is that this me?
I did.
Okay. I think this gets overcomplicated, which is why I think it's a question in the first place. This is one of those things that I say falls down kind of like that territory of soft skills and professional training and all that stuff. So everybody goes out and they learn at some point in their lifetime. And I shouldn't say everybody, but most people, that go out and they learn at some point during their lifetime all these career-based things. How do you go in and network? What is your 1-minute pitch? All these type of things. And then you walk into dating and you go into that thought silo of that's professional and this is personal. So they don't combine. But the skills carry over. Like if you're going to a networking event and you want to find out about somebody, there's certain information you're trying to find out. What's their name? Where do they work? Who are they? What do they want to do with their career? Do they know anybody you know? How many of those things are different from the personal side? Mm-hmm. What's your name? What do you do?
How long have you been single?
How long have you been single?
How are you finding the dating world to be?
How do you find the dating world to be? What do you want to do in life?
What kind of job do you have? How long have you kept it?
What kind of job do you have? Although I say hold off on the job thing because that can, if you can, don't get, or you can ask the job thing, just don't get too much into it because you don't want it to feel like you're just asking for their resume. So you can see how much they make and if they just meet with you financially.
That's one of those things we talked about, the checklist on paper.
Yeah, that's the checklist thing. We talked previously about that. So you can ask those questions, but the idea is it's the same information. It's the same type of information. And it's the first date. So the idea of the information you need to learn is so freaking wide. I mean, and I don't care what age it is. So if we met when we were 36, 37, somewhere in that area, even if you're 20 or 21, that's 20 years of life you don't know about this person. The questions are far and wide.
Now, I'm going to bring up something that you said in the past.
Yeah.
Where those questions are far and wide, but what if you've had a bunch of texting exchanges in between setting up the first date and the first date?
Yeah, see, this is why I disagree with you. This is why I completely disagree with you. This is why I disagree about the fact that you're like, well, you can't text because you won't have anything to talk about.
I didn't say
can't. Or you
said
don't text as much because you said...
I've said just limit it.
You said limit it because you don't want them to go in with preconceived notions and you want them to have something to talk about during the first
Yeah,
date.
and this attachment sort of...
Yeah. First of all, the questions are far and wide. In text, you will not get the amount of answers to cover the whole first date. And whatever answer you do, you should then have follow-up questions that should allow you to get deeper on the first date instead of being on the first date. Oh, how'd you find your job? And then that's it. You already know they have their job. You already know how to find their job. Now you get to know a little bit of their job history. Like there's always a depth to go. It's like following that little, I shouldn't say annoying, but they get it. After that, we've had 2 kids. We know that when they're young, they can be a little bit annoying because they keep on asking questions. And they have the perfect way of keeping the conversation going, which I think applies even in the first date. Don't use it too many times.
Why?
Why? I mean, it's real easy to keep the conversation going with why. Why and tell me more. Those two, like, tell me more about that. Oh, so you like your job? I mean, tell me more. What do you like about it? Why do you like it?
Well, what you're describing is an actual conversation too. Sometimes I've seen people go into it and they ask a question and then they just like let it drop. There's no volleying back and forth of
that is true.
Conversation.
That is true.
It just like lets it drop and they're like, oh.
So why do you think that happens? See that you said that. Why, y'all? Why do you think that happens then?
I think there can be a plethora of reasons. Sometimes people we've talked about are better in front of their screens than what they are in real life because they're not practicing in real life. Some people are nervous. Some people, I don't know.
Do you think...
Or they're going and interviewing instead of just saying like, I'm going to have a good time, meet someone new, have a conversation. They're interviewing.
They're interviewing.
And they're going through, sometimes I think they're going through their checklist.
Do you think it's,
Okay, like that one. Okay, like that fits the list.
yeah. Like, do you think the more important question is what questions to ask? Like, does that question alone make you go down the line of interviewing as opposed to going down the line of conversation? Does what questions to ask cause you to think of an interview versus conversation?
I'm not sure
Okay.
about that.
Because I'm wondering what gets people into the interview versus the conversation.
Do you think the interview starts with going in with your checklist and on the top of your mind?
That's a good question.
Because if you're saying things, tell me about your friends. Tell me something that we used to say because we were long distance, so we text a lot. We talked on the phone a lot. Tell me a funny story from your childhood. Like, like I love people's funny stories.
Yeah.
Tell me a funny story from your childhood. Make me laugh.
Yeah.
Like that will help me get to know you as well.
Yeah. Yeah, just telling stories.
Right. Or what about asking for them for advice on a first date? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that'll tell you a lot about who they are.
Right.
Wait a minute. Ooh, that would tell you a lot about who they are. Here's a question. Are you asking there's a part of me that says you can ask for advice, but if you ask for advice, it has to be about something that you really want advice on. You get what I mean? Like, it can't be ask for advice
that you
for
fabricated
something
a
fake.
situation.
Yeah. It can't be about something fake because then you have a fake answer. You have a fake value judgment.
You've created this whole scenario.
Right. You created this thing where you want this perfect answer and you're looking for something that is inauthentic because you're asking something inauthentic.
What if it's a hypothetical? Like,
I hate hypotheticals. I hate those. Hypotheticals are crap. A hypothetical always means there's a hypothetical answer and a hypothetical. If I was doing that, I would do. You don't even know. You ain't even been in that situation. What are you talking about?
So anyways.
It's always great to answer something perfectly. No, I want to go down this idea, this advice. Hold on. No, anywhere. Where are you moving on to? I want to think through this whole advice thing. Is that a good conversation piece though?
I think it can be.
Advice on something.
Let's say you ask for advice on a family situation or a friend or work situation. Let's say you ask advice on you have unruly dogs like we have here. You ask for advice, you have naughty dogs.
They've been out the frame. They're just sitting there laying down for once. But to what? Because here's the thing about asking advice. It also, their answer will give a sneak peek into who they are. Mm-hmm. But asking for advice will also give a sneak peek into who you are. So if you ask advice on something that's like some family, real dramatic going on type of mess.
Maybe reserve that.
That's what I'm saying. So what level of advice? Should I get a Palisade or a Santa Fe, or is it something deeper? Where's the level? Because
but if somebody's coming in hot with, give me advice on my estranged sibling.
Yeah,
that's a bit of a red flag.
That's over the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too much. You're giving out too much information too soon.
Right.
You got to know they like you enough to handle that information.
Also, that's this idea of just laying it all out there without knowing this person is trustworthy or dependable or any of that stuff.
Because you do need
that's
to know
poor boundaries, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Advice on, say, a work scenario. Or advice on if they should go to a friend's birthday party or not because they already had tickets to an event. Something like that. Something like that.
Don't you think that would make for an interesting conversation?
I think it would. And then I believe hopefully it would draw both sides in. I also think this, if you ask them for advice and they start giving their advice, which is not a problem because you've asked for their advice. So you can't be mad if they start giving their advice. Yeah. like if you ask for something and you get the answer that you asked for, then you can't be mad even if you don't like the answer. But I think there are so many different ways because one, they could say something you don't like and then you get to figure out how you deal with disagreeing with each other. But it also gives you the chance to be like, have you been in this scenario? And what did you do when you had this situation occur?
That's a good...
It gives you a good follow-up.
Yeah.
Now you get to dig deeper into them, even though you've asked for advice for you.
Do you think asking questions like that help people to let their guard down and relax a little bit? Or do you think it makes them more nervous, like they're assessing me based on like this advice I'm giving them?
Yes, and?
Both and?
Both and. No, but yeah, yes.
There's
I
Roy.
think, well, there goes Unruly 1. Go ahead, down. But that's actually Unruly 2. He was the second one in the house. But I think it does. I also think that's allowed. Because I think one of the things that happens that we forget about or that we focus on too much in dating is the idea of how uncomfortable it is and how uncomfortable we are. And then we try so hard to move out of that place of discomfort, forgetting the idea that that place of discomfort is where we're learning things from. So, yeah, it might be uncomfortable to be in that scenario. It might be uncomfortable to have that during the first date. But that discomfort in the land of discomfort comparisons is a better discomfort to have on your first date than the discomfort of, oh, I wonder if he likes my shirt or not. Because the shirt or not in long-term answer of, is this person compatible with me, really doesn't matter. But can I have a hard conversation with this person? Really does.
I would say that this is a higher level of advice too. Like I mentioned before, not going to the nitty-gritty of something really intense.
Oh, yeah. No. We're going to get too deep.
What other questions might be good questions to ask on a first date?
What questions did I ask you?
When was our first date?
What questions do you remember?
When was our first date?
You told me to stop asking questions after a while. Or you're like, I need a break of questions. Can we take a...
Yeah, that goes back to our differences. We had two completely different...
worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, two completely different worlds.
I was working in a place where people were just bombarding my office all the time, asking questions, things like that.
Yeah.
So on my way home, I would want just silence and quiet. And that's often when we would talk when I was driving home from work. Mm-hmm. And you worked at home by yourself. And so you were by yourself all day. And so you were just waiting for me to get off work to chat me up, ask me all kinds of questions.
To chat you up and learn all these things about you.
And I would just
beautiful things
be like, I need quiet and I need a break. Like, no more questions.
And then that's what she hit me with the, tell me a story.
Most likely.
That was and it wasn't most likely. That's when you did it. I know that was a stop asking me questions because I need, so tell me a story to fill up my space.
I'm sure I said to you just very point blank, I need a break from questions.
No, I'm saying it jokingly. It wasn't like you were pretty direct about it, but not in a mean way. Like, hey, I've had a long day. I've had a lot of questions. How about you tell me a story? And you did that maybe a couple times, and I was like, okay. And then I figured out which times to ask you questions and what times to tell you stories.
I probably also explained, like, this is what my job is like. Mm-hmm. I need time to decompress a bit.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Even now, sometimes when I get home,
just so I'd have a story to tell you.
I appreciate that. See,
I suck at remembering stories.
You have one on deck.
Yeah, I have one lined up because I suck at remembering the stories. Because I'm so focused on, all right, answering this question, figuring this problem out, doing this thing next, and I'd forget the stories entirely. So
at that moment, too, I could have just been annoyed that you're asking me questions, or I could have just expressed what I needed.
Yeah, but the expression of what you needed is what made it so simple to have the conversation. I didn't have to guess.
Yeah.
I didn't have to guess. So I could predict, like, okay, it's been a long day. Because we would communicate via text and you would tell me I'm going this place or I'm going that place or I'm shooting over here. And so I'd know or have an idea at least what days were long. And so I could work around that. And I think in a great way that allowed us to move forward a lot more quickly because we didn't have that inefficient process of trying to figure out, we weren't double dutching, like about to hop in waiting to figure out where the rope was.
Right.
So in the line of additional questions, I don't know, there is a part of that thing where I wonder if a great question is, you prefer questions or stories? How do you like to communicate? I mean, those are more communicative and understanding questions. They aren't your basic probing, or not even probing. They aren't your basic like surface questions. But I do think those questions might be more beneficial in understanding a person. There's the break ice questions, and then there are the questions that let you understand people a little bit more.
So some tangible questions might be things along the line of, tell me something good you have going on in your life right now. Mm-hmm. Tell me something you're excited that you have coming up.
I love the idea of saying, tell me something that makes you smile, that made you smile today.
Kind of cheesy, but I'll give it to you.
It is cheesy, but it's a better way than saying, hey, how are you? It's way better than saying, how was your day? You know?
I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's way better than how was your day? Or what's good? You know? I think tell me something that made you smile today. It's kind of cheesy, but it allows you to get a window into what makes somebody happy, what makes somebody smile. Aren't we in relationships or trying to connect with somebody for the sake of making somebody smile and happy? If I know from date one what made you happy today, I at least already started out by knowing at least one thing that made you smile today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, look. I'll be taking them skips in, man. I'll be taking them skips in.
Do you know how to double dutch?
Kinda. How long do I have to double dutch to say I know how to double dutch? Do I just have to get under the rope and go?
Well, if you just get under the rope, but you're not like double dutching, then you're not.
I mean, I got in the ropes. That's close enough.
No.
Let's say I can get up to 4. Am I double dutching?
I would say you can do it, but
2 a leg.
I can't do it. I can't double dutch. So
It's been so long since I've done it. I'm like, can I get under the rope without hitting my head on that thing first?
I've never double dutched. What do you do if they ghost or disappear?
Say bye.
Yes.
That's done.
In the words of Mel Robbins, let them.
Right. Oh, in the words of me, next. Next. I'm like the man at the deli counter pulling up tickets. 22A? All right.
Here's something.
23. Move on.
Do you think that men do closure? I hear that quite often.
That men don't do closure?
Right.
I think men do closure differently.
Tell me more.
Oh, you want me with that? Huh?
Or why?
Why? I think men do closure differently. Overall, because I really dislike speaking in such absolutes. Overall, I feel as though men are great starting, terrible ending. I feel we've been taught how to start the game, how to start the conversation, how to start to do something, and then our version of ending is to start the next thing. Because when we start the next thing, that was the end of the last one. But we don't really formally always end the last one.
So it is true, the concept that men are like monkeys. They won't let go of one rope until they have a hold of another.
No.
And once they have a hold of another, they just let it go.
I refuse to compare men to any animal. No monkeys, no dogs, no none of that.
I can't remember where I heard that.
Terrible spot. You forget it completely. No, I think there's the idea that we're planning and lining up and trying to figure out where to go next. I think there's that idea. Take the concept of men like to solve problems. Well, if the problem is I don't feel fully invested in this relationship or I don't like where I am currently, the problem to solve is to find the other relationship or someplace where you currently want to be. Well, solving that problem means to go to shift to the next one. So if you complain about men wanting to solve problems and not hear the problems, as is often said.
Oh, so their solving is just shifting and doing something different?
Well, you're calling it shifting. I wouldn't call that shift, not in the way we like to use the word shift.
No.
I think they're just moving on. They're just moving on. The idea of closure is defined differently. So think of close one door, open the next one. Well, he did. He closed the door in that relationship and opened the door in the next relationship. His door just happened to be a different door than somebody else is waiting on. So if a woman is sitting there waiting for him to come and close the door to the relationship for her, he's closed his door. You know, this is a double door. This is the hotel door. There's 2 doors on each side, right? Because you're not in the same room yet.
Ghosting or disappearing is not the same as closing the door. That's just leaving it, walking away from it. The door's still open.
Your door is open. This is the hotel door. You know how the hotel rooms, there's a door on each side?
The
hotel
suite.
Because y'all ain't in the same room yet. Y'all just compare. You got 2 suites next to each other. You ain't in the same room yet. He got a door. She got a door.
But closure is saying, hey, no, thank you.
No,
I don't think this is. And
closing to her door is saying no, thank you. Closing his door is closing the door and leaving.
Then why do they often come back and be like, hey?
You left your door open.
So he opened.
I don't see how this is confusing, right? You left your door open. So he's got a couple doors on his suite because, you know, A, B, and C are connected. And he's gone to suite C. while he's in the middle of suite B, you left the door to suite A open because you were waiting for closure, and then just say, I'm done with this fool.
So for you, what you're saying is the ghosting is the closure.
The ghosting is the closure.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
the ghosting is the closure. What about the thoughts of letting them come back then?
He's gone.
Well, can be they, though. This is a they, not he. We're talking about in terms of men. Sometimes women do that, too.
No, sometimes women do it. I know we're talking to this kind of absolute, too. Here's the thing with me. Here's my opinion on this. We talk about, I think there's this very romantic world out there. And don't get it wrong. I'm a romanticist.
You are.
I am very much so. But there's this idea of that I'm looking for the one. And in all these millions, billions, are we at the billions? I don't know. But all these billions of people on the planet, people are like, I'm looking for the one. I think there's more than one per person.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So if that one ain't the one, go to the other one. Go to the other one, because the other one might be a better one. See all these variations of one we got? We got a lost one, a terrible one, not the one, the other one, and the best one.
A good one.
A good one. One that loves you. Like, go to the one that loves you. Don't chase down love if they don't want to love you. You find somebody who's willing to run to you just as much as you're willing to run to them. If their door is closed, close your door, because you got a suite on the other side also. Close your door and go.
Oftentimes when someone is chasing the one that's not available, they need to do some they need to see their therapist, their counselor, whatever you want to call them. Mm-hmm. Because there's usually some history there that makes you choose the one that's unavailable.
Yeah.
So
you're
before
saying that leans into that.
Say that again?
You're saying that leads into that causes you to chase that person who ghosted you.
Yeah. People often chase the one that is unavailable and leave the one that's good right in front of them because the one that's unavailable oftentimes feels more normal, feels more what they're used to.
Okay. So they leave the good one to go to the bad one or the other one or the one who doesn't love you because of history and stuff in their life.
Yeah.
So what do they need to do then to see the good one? Because I often felt like I was the good one that was getting ignored because I wasn't.
They need to see their therapist. They need to talk this through with their therapist.
Help. Because they got to get rid of that stuff in the past.
Yeah.
But how do they identify that outside of it just being like they're chasing? Because the idea of you're chasing the terrible one versus the good one is often one of those things that somebody outside the relationship sees that somebody inside doesn't. So how does the person inside realize, oh, I'm doing something that is probably bad for myself and I need to go see the therapist?
If you're looking back on your relationships and you notice a pattern, that this is a pattern, you can probably ask yourself the question, when did I feel that way? Like in the past, before intimate partner relationships. What about this makes me want to choose the one that's not available? And if you're assessing, I have this pattern, then we need to address the pattern.
See, now that made me ask another question, though, because I'm thinking and wondering if this person is even at the point of assessing or seeing a pattern. How do they even get to that point? Or if you're a friend who sees this, how do you help them get to that point? Other than saying, have you noticed that you keep on dating the same men or you have a pattern or you're dating the same women? How do they even get, what is the indicator that say pattern, the pattern, there's a first step to everything, right? That first point that you recognize, that first point where you see something, I almost say parent, that first point where you almost see something. What is that thing that happens right at that first point where if somebody is even experiencing it, the little tingle or something where it's like, okay, this is about to happen. You're at the point.
I'm wondering if it comes to the idea, you and I had this conversation, I don't know, a few days ago, about instead of asking, does this feel right, with right?
Yeah.
Just asking, how does this feel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of does it feel right, how does it feel? What do I experience here? How do I feel when I'm around this person? How do I feel in this relationship? What do I feel when I leave them?
I remember we've talked about that before, the part about leaving specifically. Because I like what you say there about the energy.
Not leaving as in breaking up.
Yeah,
closing the door, the suite door.
Not closing the door, or just, if somebody
I have my own life, I need to go to work.
Right. So just
when I'm not in their presence.
When you're not physically in their presence, or you hang up the phone for that matter, because I think that carries through. But you've talked about that energy.
Yeah.
And I like how you describe that. You know, you're blanking on it.
Yeah.
The idea of the energy they leave you with, or how you feel after they leave.
Yeah, like you've taken on that energy,
right?
And you're experiencing the energy within the relationship. And if it feels uneasy, you feel poorly about yourself. You don't feel amazing.
Right.
Those things.
If you started off before they came, you know, we'll flip the door. We've been talking about him being a bad person for a while here. So let's say it's an awful female, you know,
right.
And you're a dude and you feel great and you're so happy, and you walk into the room and you hang out with her and y'all hang out for 2 or 3 hours or something. And then she leaves to go and you go to work or you go to do whatever. And all of a sudden you're exhausted and you're tired and you felt good about yourself at first and now you feel awful. Then that was the energy she left with you.
Yeah, that's the energy you took on.
That's the energy you took on. And you aren't even in the same room yet, by the way. You're still in your own suites. So this is only getting worse when you get into the same room. If she leaves and you feel awful, then you have your key and your clue there that, no, you don't.
This is not for me.
No, because I find it weird, and I know I have to shut up because you have to go soon. I find it weird sometimes when we're someplace together and we're someplace together with other people, and they'll be like, is that real? And we'll be like, what are you talking about?
That just happened the other day.
That just happened. I'm not making this up. I'm not throwing it out there for the sake of sounding great or whatever. You said somebody said that to you just the other day.
Yeah, we were working.
Like, oh, we were on our chill and calm down that day. We weren't even.
We were working on an event for a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours. We were working at an event, you and I. And I was with somebody else that was also working on this event. And they were asking me, like, what do we do? What's that like? And they were mentioning something about you and I. And they said, is that real?
Yeah.
And I said, what do you mean is what real? How you guys are together. So they said, like, so that's real. And I was just like, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we're like.
Yeah. And I was like, we were calmed down that day.
You're like, we were even on our work mode. I was like you see us is exactly like this is how we are.
At you. Like, we weren't even bickering or bantering. I should call it bickering. It's not bickering. We just banter back and forth and poke each other. But it wasn't even that. I'm like, really? And I think that's a part of that dual energy. Like the energy is just, it's that multiplication. Multiplication, is that right?
And most of them had never met you before.
True. Yeah.
So
yeah. So they didn't know.
Yeah, they had only heard that you were gonna be there helping out.
Yeah, so cool.
So they hadn't met you, and they had only this person had just briefly known me, but they were saying, so like that's real. Like what we show in public is real.
Yeah,
is true to life. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, and I don't bring that up for the sake of thinking that it's unique specifically to us.
I should hope not.
I hope not. I hope in the world that two people get together and they just exude this energy that people are like, yo, those two together are just dope. Because I love that concept, and I believe that there are people out there who do that. So,
I know the conversation started by me saying, I don't believe relationships have to be as hard as what people say they are.
Yeah.
They require work. We work at our relationship. They require work and investment.
Yeah.
But are they just, oh my God, it's so hard. Like being married or being in a long-term or intimate partner relationship is so hard. I don't, like, who would want to engage in that?
Nope. I had that.
So that's what we were, I was
easier.
saying, I don't think relationships have to be or need to be as difficult as what people say
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
And that's what brought up the question of, so what I see or what I saw of you guys is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Right. No apologies for that one.
I was like, we're probably worse than what.
Right.
We weren't cutting up. We
We
weren't.
were not cutting up. We were actually listening to stuff.
Trying to be helpful.
There's a reason we were like, if we're going to church, we need to sit in the back because we gonna be some fools today. But look here, you got to run, and we went through 2 questions anyway, so we're pretty much at the length we want to make this bad boy. So we're gonna be back in a couple of days with another one. And in the meantime,
send us your questions because I really want to know the real questions that people have.
Yeah.
And also I think like advice, if we get their advice,
oh yeah,
what advice would they give or insights that they've learned, like something that really important or really helpful or insightful you've learned about your own relationship?
we can definitely include that.
Do you think that would be interesting?
That'd be great because I think one of the best places and people to learn things from are those with experiences and who can tell us what they've gone through. Like we can give you our experiences, but we can't give you everybody's experience.
Right. And anything they might want to ask to our couple who's been married for half a century.
Oh, yes.
So
Definitely send those questions. I'd love to get those questions.
I am off to the office now.
Go care for people.
Yes.
I am off to my office now. And we'll see y'all next time. About to say next week, but it won't be next week. Next time.
Really uncomfortable here.
Now it's getting to get good.